Okay, this Arsenal team is looking dangerous.
Dubravka kan ikke rigtig komme ud til den, og så der, Gyökeres!
Mikel Arteta's side are no longer the promise of tomorrow. They are the pressure of today.
But look, they're just a very, very good team. They're a team that I believe had every single ingredient to go and win the league this year. And in every facet of their game, defensively, attacking wise, set plays, they're a top team.
This isn't about blind hope or patience anymore. This feels different. It feels real. From August through autumn, Arsenal have looked like a machine built on rhythm and control.
And you can see it in every occasion that Saka and Martinelli has 1-against-1. A lot of times they go outside, they cross. They already know that if the cross is going well, they can score if it's a corner.
They're unbeaten in 9 league matches, riding a 5-game winning streak that's pushed them top of the Premier League, balancing European ambition with domestic dominance.
I think Arsenal got that mentality to go and win and get back to that point whereby they really are seen as challengers for the title.
The goals aren't just flowing, they're organized. The defense isn't just solid, it's disciplined. And for the first time since Wenger's early years, Arsenal move with that same quiet authority.
And this year, at the moment, no one's there with Arsenal. There's no credible title challenge to Arsenal at the moment. And I've got to commend Arsenal as well.
A team that knows it's good enough and now just has to prove it every week. Yet even in dominance, the critics still whisper Arsenal have issues creating from open play against low blocks. I expect another week of analysis about how this isn't sustainable, that you can't control every phase when the goals keep coming from set pieces. But maybe that's what makes this team truly dangerous. They can win even when they're not perfect. Because while other members of the so-called Big Four or Big Five are still figuring themselves out, Arsenal look like the only side in full control of their identity. Liverpool are still rediscovering rhythm under Arne Slot. The ideas are clear, but the consistency isn't. Manchester City, once untouchable, now look human. Still brilliant, but not invincible. Manchester United, still trapped between transition and expectation. Their project feels miles behind. And Chelsea, talented, expensive, but unpredictable, still trying to turn promise into purpose. Arsenal, though, they've moved past all that. They've built something stable, something real, a team that wins through control, not chaos. And if they keep this rhythm, this might actually be the season Arsenal have been building toward all along. The question isn't if they can win anymore, it's when. They say every empire faces disbelief before it earns respect. Arsenal know that feeling too well. 10 games into the 2025-26 Premier League season, sitting at the top with 25 points and the best defensive record in England, only 3 goals conceded, yet all people can talk about is how their goals only come from set pieces.
With Arsenal at this moment in time, what worries me for them, on the outside looking in, is we're getting excited by set pieces all the time instead of excited about that free-flowing football, and that's what Arsenal's known for. And they're going away from it, we're shying away from it at this moment in time. You can see at times the players are running out of ideas. They can't at times play off the cuff, should we just say. They're playing to a system at times.
On social media, the noise never stops. Tweets claiming Arsenal can't create from open play against low blocks rack up thousands of likes. Pundits call them unsustainable. Analysts say their dominance isn't organic enough. And fans of rival clubs repeat the same line. They'll fall, just give it time. But week after week, they don't. This Arsenal side are not crashing through the Premier League. They're suffocating it. They've turned control into a weapon, pressing with precision and defending like a unit carved from steel. Opponents rarely even shoot. 2 consecutive league games have ended with the opposition recording 0 shots on target, something Arsenal hadn't done since 2003. Back in September, when Newcastle thought they'd stolen a draw, Gabriel Magalhães rose in stoppage time to head home a winner. The kind of moment that felt like defiance turned into muscle memory. And still, the critics talk. They say the football is too structured, too calculated, too clean. They say it lacks chaos, lacks emotion, lacks something to love. But those who watch closely can see it. This is not soulless control, this is conviction. The numbers back it. Possession near 60%, 3 goals conceded in 10 matches, a defensive unit that bends for no one. Arsenal aren't chasing validation, they're building inevitability. So let them talk, let them write the think pieces about set-piece goals and unsustainable control. The noise outside doesn't reach the pitch, because inside, within that red and white rhythm, there's a team proving the world wrong, one calm, calculated win at a time. Under the floodlights of Emirates and away nights alike, Arsenal no longer rely on flashes of brilliance. They rely on bones, code, identity. The canvas isn't painted overnight. It's built from a spine of players who know their roles, then embroidered with the new arrivals who elevate it. Behind this season's surge lies 3 pillars: structure, intelligence, and trust. The structure. Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi form the double pivot that gives Arsenal a quiet backbone. Zubimendi, signed in July 2025 for roughly 65 million euros, slid into Arteta's system like the missing gear. His positional discipline, anticipation, and clean tackles, 134 ball regains in the first third of matches, give Rice the freedom to surge forward. And then there's Eberechi, the creative spark threaded between structure and chaos. Eze operates as the connector, drifting between the lines, turning sterile possession into incision. Where Rice provides the muscle and Zubimendi the method, Eze adds motion and imagination, gliding past markers, linking Saka and Trossard, and turning half spaces into danger zones. But let's not sleep on Martin Odegaard, the Arsenal's most dangerous creative spike. Even as he recovers from a short spell on the sidelines, his shadow still looms over every build-up, because when Odegaard returns, the geometry changes. The tempo sharpens, the triangles tighten, and Arsenal's attack gains that unpredictable pulse that makes defending them feel like solving a moving equation. Together, the quartet represent Arteta's masterstroke: discipline, dominance, imagination, and invention. A balance that has turned control into inevitability, and inevitability into fear, intelligence. At the back, William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhães aren't just defenders, they are game directors. Late crosses bounce off them, counters die before they breathe. In front, Martinelli or Leandro Trossard, Gyökeres, and Bukayo Saka unravel defenders not just with pace, but with angles. And in goal, David Raya doesn't just save shots, he starts moves, claims crosses, sets the tone. Arsenal's conceded only 3 times in 10 early league matches, the best rate in the country. Trust, signature moments. After a sell-off of doubters based on set-piece dependency, Arsenal proved they could break deep blocks and ride the waves of game flow. Minutes where subs like Miles Lewis-Skelly or Piero Hincapié enter with zero disruption. Minutes where Rice takes corners with ice in his veins. Minutes where Saliba heads away across and immediately sets the press. The 2025-26 team trusts each other enough to stick to the code even under noise. But there's more beneath the surface. Their super weapon, rehearsed routines. The corner sequence at 14 this season, Rice delivers, Gabriel flicks, Gyökeres heads. Wasn't luck, it was lecture room precision. Then 35 minutes, Trossard cross meets Rice crashing the 6-yard box, goal. Those are not spontaneous reactions, they are iterations of the code. On defense, the team has conceded 0 shots on target in back-to-back league games, a feat Arsenal hadn't achieved since 2003 as a result of synchronized pressing, compressed lines, and constant position shifts between the fullbacks and center backs. This Arsenal is more than just players understanding the system, it's about identity, and the identity is clear. Arsenal defend like fortress, press like hunters, attack like architects. When the doubt hits, external chatter, this can't last, they rely too much on set pieces. Arsenal don't shy away, they lean in, follow the code, execute the structure, and let the results do the talking, because in the machine they built, every part knows its job, and no part deviates. October 2025 will be remembered as the month Arsenal stopped answering questions and started asking their own. 5 games, 3 competitions, 1 consistent truth. Control, the kind of control that comes not from chaos or luck, but from belief, discipline, and tactical maturity.
I don't accept these standards. I'm telling you, I don't accept them. I don't accept them, these standards. It's nowhere near. Nowhere near. And I'm not criticizing your attitude. That attitude is not enough. Courage is not enough. To run is not enough. You have to have much more than that. And it's nowhere near.
They opened the month at the Emirates, hosting West Ham United, a fixture layered with irony. Declan Rice, the man who once captained the Hammers, was now their executioner. Arsenal pressed high, suffocated space, and smothered every attempt West Ham made to break out. Rice scored the opener, a low, composed finish after a recycled corner. Before Bukayo Saka doubled the lead from the penalty spot. It wasn't just a win, it was symbolic. Arteta's 300th game in charge, and the 200th Premier League appearance for Saka, who at just 24 years old had become the youngest player since Raheem Sterling to reach that milestone. By full time, the Emirates stood to applaud a team that had quietly gone top of the Premier League once again. After the international break, Arsenal traveled to Craven Cottage. On a damp afternoon against Fulham's stubborn low block, it wasn't fireworks, it was endurance. One goal, one clean sheet, one more example of efficiency. They dominated territory but stayed patient, moving Fulham's lines until space appeared. When it did, Leandro Trossard was there to finish, assisted by Gabriel Martinelli's clever run. Fulham barely managed a shot on target. Arsenal's calmness and control reflected a team that no longer panics, a team that believes in its system. Then came Europe, and with it, a reminder to the continent. At the Wanda Metropolitano, Arsenal dismantled Atletico Madrid in their own backyard, 4-0. It was the kind of result that silences even the most cynical corners of football Twitter. 2 set-piece goals from Gabriel Magalhães, 2 goals immediately after coming in from halftime, followed by another 2 goals from Viktor Gyökeres, left Diego Simeone's men chasing shadows. Atletico hadn't conceded 4 goals at home in any competition since 2017 until Arsenal arrived. For the first time since 2010, Arsenal were being spoken of as genuine Champions League favorites.
I don't think there are going to be many people making excuses for Arsenal this season. That's not me as an ex-Manchester United player applying pressure to Arsenal. I think they're the best team in the league. They've got the right squad, and if you weren't an Arsenal player or fan or coach, you would be saying quite confidently that we are going to win it.
Not for nostalgia, but for numbers. The least goals conceded in Europe, the highest pressing success rate, and an attacking efficiency that had grown colder and more calculated by the week. Back in England, Crystal Palace were next. A gritty London derby. Arsenal didn't dazzle, they imposed. Eberechi Eze, once Palace's star, struck the decisive volley against his old club, and Arsenal's defensive structure did the rest. Palace had possession, but not territory. They had energy, but no clear shots on target. It was another masterclass in game management. A reminder that champions are not built on one good performance, but on consistency when games demand patience, not spectacle. And then came the EFL Cup tie against Brighton, where rotation told a different story. Arsenal's depth. Arteta fielded the likes of Ethan Nwaneri, Piero Hincapié, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, and still the rhythm didn't break. The passes still pulsed in triangles, the press still triggered in sync, and the defense remained immaculate. A 2-0 victory, clean, measured, professional. It wasn't a headline, it was a message. Arsenal's system now runs deeper than their starting 11. By the end of October, Arsenal had gone 5 games unbeaten, conceding just 2 goals and achieving a feat not seen since 2003. 2 consecutive league matches without allowing a single shot on target. The critics, of course, still spoke. They said, as you can see, Arsenal has so many issues generating from open play against low blocks. I expect a week long of media reports on these severe issues and how it's unsustainable to control the games in every stage of play because the goal came from a set piece. They said, it's not sustainable to win this way, but every week Arsenal kept proving them wrong. Not by shouting, but by showing. Their game is no longer about chaos. It's about control. It's about systems, repetition, and trust. The kind of football that doesn't chase trends, it creates them. Turf Moor isn't the kind of place that cares about reputation. It's tight, loud, and cold. The air thick with drizzle and defiance. This is the ground where smooth, possession-based football often struggles to breathe. But not this Arsenal, not this version. This is a team that has learned how to win ugly, how to win by structure, and how to silence chaos with control. Before kickoff, the noise online was the same old story. They can't break down low blocks. Arsenal didn't answer with words. They answered with 90 minutes of suffocation. From the start, they dictated everything. 71% possession in the opening 5 minutes, passing triangles flickering all over the pitch. Declan Rice and Zubimendi ran the midfield. Calafiori provided width. Saka and Trossard kept Burnley pinned deep. The home side could barely breathe, the crowd growing restless. Then, in the 14th minute, Arsenal struck. And yes, from a set piece. Declan Rice delivered the corner. Gabriel Magalhães caused chaos in the box, and Viktor Gyökeres was there to finish it off from close range. Not pretty, not dramatic, just effective. 1-0. Arsenal in control. From there, the game became one-way traffic. Every Burnley clearance came back within seconds. Rice dictated tempo, Zubimendi cleaned up everything, and Arsenal moved like a team that had memorized the pitch. By the 32nd minute, it should have been 3. Saka forced a sharp save from Dubravka, Trossard had a shot cleared off the line, and Calafiori tested the keeper from distance. Burnley were hanging on, then in the 35th minute came another reminder that Arteta's structure is more weapon than weakness. Trossard picked his head up, found Rice ghosting between defenders. One perfect cross, one commanding header, 2-0. Another set piece? Sure, but another example of a team that turns design into damage. Halftime came with 61% possession, 0 Burnley shots on target, and a sense that Arsenal were operating in cruise control. Arteta made a subtle change. Marino on for Gyökeres, shifting from aggression to control. It wasn't defensive, it was efficient. The message was clear. Game managed, you're done. The second half played out like a chess match. Every Burnley attack was neutralized before it began. Saliba read everything. Gabriel cleaned up the rest. Raya was calm under pressure, claiming crosses and defusing long balls like clockwork. Timber and Hincapié closed every channel. Marino dropped alongside Rice, keeping the rhythm steady. Burnley's only real moment came in stoppage time. Marcus Edwards' free kick clipping the post. A brief scare, then silence. When the whistle blew, there was no wild celebration, just calm, collective acknowledgement. Arsenal 2-0 Burnley. Another clean sheet, another job done. Possession, 54-46. Shots faced, 0 on target, and yet they keep winning because this Arsenal doesn't chase chaos, they control it. They don't care how it looks, they care that it works. The plan everyone once mocked is now the foundation of something real. In a league obsessed with fireworks, Arsenal are winning through silence, patience, and precision. At Turf Moor, they didn't just win, they imposed themselves. They didn't dazzle, they dominated. And in grounds like these, that's how champions speak. The win at Turf Moor wasn't just another 3 points, it was a message. While other members of the so-called Big Four are still trying to figure themselves out, Arsenal look like the only side in full control of their identity. Liverpool are still rediscovering rhythm under Arne Slot, balancing a fluid attack with defensive inconsistency. Manchester City, once untouchable, are showing cracks. Still dominant, but not quite invincible. And Manchester United, still caught between transition and expectation. Their project feels miles behind. Arsenal, meanwhile, have stopped searching for themselves. They know who they are. A team built on structure, defined by control, and powered by belief. 9 games unbeaten, 5 straight wins, clean sheets piling up, confidence rising, no chaos, no panic, just progress. The league is watching and slowly realizing that this might not be the young Arsenal people thought could fade away. This might be the version that finally stays.